Welcome. My name is Mr. Brad Wilson. I am Team 2's Social Studies and Humanities teacher. The purpose of this video is to provide you with an understanding of how to use blended schools to enhance your child's education and your ability to support them in achieving their individual learning goals. Let's get started by discussing the general layout of blended schools and more specifically the links on the left-hand portion of the screen. Currently we are in the Welcome menu, which is going to have the video that you're currently watching as well as the parent activity completion form. Which if you would please fill out at the end of this just to make sure that, just so that I know that you did see this. That'll be pretty static throughout the year. I'm not going to make many adjustments to that. There are a few other ones that will be static. There's a post-testing link, which I'm probably going to hide soon, which is something that we use at the end of the 9 weeks for a computer post-test. We have IB extras, which will be up there throughout the whole year. Now that has an IB syllabus for the humanities course. We have a class schedule which will be changing, so if you ever want to see what is going on in class for the week, that'll tell you about homework. It will be switched over soon to a calendar once I get some glitches figured out there, but it'll be in calendar form. And we also have a feedback page where if you as a parent or as a student, you are welcome to write something. It will provide you with the opportunity to give anonymous feedback. The meat of this course though is going to be in one of the 4 content areas based upon the 4 units. The only one that is currently available to be seen is Unit 1, Europe and America. So let's click on this and let's look through this. The one thing that is really nice about blended schools is that it does allow us as teachers to only release certain things to the students. For instance, right here is what students can see right now in my course. However, if you look to see what has already been inputted over the past couple years, you can see there are quite a few folders, and within each of these folders there are many lessons. So we have, I currently have a lot of things that are in the Blended Schools course. We're always looking to enhance them though, and that's something that you'll see early on, is that we do look to make continuous gains here to provide a better education. Now let's get into what is the most, what will be the next topic covered, and I'm going to put us off edit mode so you can see this from a student perspective here as well. Whenever your child goes in here to do Wednesday's first assignment, which is going to be on the fall of Rome, this is what they're going to see when they enter the 1A folder. And by the way, anytime you click through Blended Schools, here's the simple rule. Always click on the top folder. So once you get into Unit 1, Europe and America, click on the top folder and it will always take you to the next lesson in order. That's the way that I have it organized. So let's say you want to help your child. You say, you know what, they're coming home, they're not really seeming to do much work or preparation for a test. Here, what are some of the things I can do? Well, here they are. First off, for each lesson folder, I provide a target on the outside of the folder. These are the big ideas that students need to be able to answer, so it's written in a form that they can do it. In other words, I can explain why the Roman Empire was so powerful at its height. Tell them they need to explain it. These are little things you can do to help them review and to make sure that they get the most out of the lesson, because that's the goal. I want it to be clear what they're trying to learn. Inside each of these folders then, if we click through, there are a variety of resources. Some resources are updated in this, some are not. I want to show you something too really quickly here that becomes a question in this class, given that we are a team that is half traditional and half international baccalaureate. Well, is there a difference? The answer is yes. There will be different assignments that are given. There will be different emphases put on certain vocabulary in class and other aspects. We still teach the same content topics, but there are differences in the way in which the instruction goes. For the first lesson of the year, I marked the homework as being different between traditional and IB. However, as the year goes on, I will just automatically put it through so that if a student is in the IB program, in the MYP program, they will only see the IB homework, versus otherwise if they're only in the traditional, they will only see the traditional homework, because that's another thing that we're able to do, just so that you know that. Now inside of this folder, so we saw the target on the outside. The homework is here, the graphic organizer or note guide is also in here, and then we're going to have a lecture as well. Now, this is a previous way that I used to use Blended Schools, was by embedding a PowerPoint using a different website. What I now am doing is creating YouTube videos like the one I'm creating right now that is a shortened version of the class lecture if there was one. So instead of it being something that would be, let's say, 35 minutes, I condensed them down to between 10 and 15 minutes so that students can view them on their own time. It's something that we've found to be pretty productive and students seem to like. That's something I'm going to have and I'm going to attempt to have for every single lesson. Another thing that is not in here that students will have access to is a quiz on every single day. Now, there are many quizzes already throughout the year. The only reason I don't have one for this lesson is because I haven't had blended schools at the beginning of any school year until this year. So it's going to be nice to have a lot of these tools available to students from the very beginning. Now, in each of these folders, you'll see those tools. As a parent, what does this mean to you? Well, it means two things. Number one, you know what your child has access to in the class. So if a child comes home and says, you know what, I forgot my binders at school, I can't study for social studies. Well, as long as you have internet access, you know that your child is going to be able to study for this class. Number two, it helps you as a parent to know what's going on in the class. So if there's an area of confusion with something from a lesson, if you don't understand something, this is a great place to go. You can go through the PowerPoint lecture, or you can go and have your child take the quiz and see what they got right or wrong. These quizzes that I was referring to a few minutes ago, they're only going to be 2, 3, 4 questions long, and the goal is not for me to be able to put a grade in the grade book about how many questions they got correct. It's more about me figuring out how well do the students understand this so that I can adjust instruction moving forward. It's known as a formative assessment. So they're not going to appear in the grade book as John only got a 2 out of 4. They're really only going to be given a half a point or 1 point for the homework itself based upon solely completion. But what you can do is use this and say, hey, why did you only get 2 out of 4 questions right? What was your confusion? Did you look back and make sure that you checked it? Basically, blended schools is allowing us 24/7 access to content in a way that previously we weren't able to give it. Yes, there is a textbook and students will have a textbook, but this is something that provides a different, more in-depth and more focused look at what's going on in class. So really, I wanted to take you through this really quickly and have you watch this so that you would understand what you can do as a parent to help your child to succeed to the best of their ability. And just so you know too, this isn't just for social studies class. Blended Schools is used by all teachers on the team in science, language arts, and math, as well as in their foreign languages. So they will have access to this frequently, and this is a great tool for learning. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and if you would, please fill out the form that is found right below the video on this page. Thanks again.